Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
There's this amazing little interchange that happens this week in Parshat Bo. I'd forgotten about it actually up until I was sort of sifting through the Parsha and reflecting on different pieces, but it's in and around the time of the locusts, and the locusts are a bummer as far as plagues go. In the Hebrew school game show, we learned that a single swarm of locusts can eat 423 million pounds of vegetation per day. So they're a bummer. But there's this piece before that where Pharaoh wants to let Moses and Aaron go free. You know what? These plagues are a bummer. We've had enough of them. Why don't the two of you go and worship this Yud-He-Vav-He God that you are so partial to and leave the rest of us well enough alone? Moses says something along the lines of, great, sounds good. And then Pharaoh sort of doubles back. There's an interesting sort of, wait a second. Like he does this double take. Who are you going with again? Who's going on this trip? And Moses says, oh, glad you asked. Everyone. Specifically, he says, the youngest among our people as well as the oldest among our people. And Pharaoh he said, no, absolutely not. No. That's not how this is going to go. Pharaoh shuts down the whole thing, says, no, now you can't. Gets rid of him. Says, go away. And the interesting thing to me is to imagine one of these counterfactual history moments of, suppose Moses said yes to that. Suppose Pharaoh said, who are you going with? And Moses said, oh, we're going to take everybody. And Pharaoh said, no, you're not. And he says, cool, no, I'm not. And he and Aaron go free. They could have. But he says no. Not only does it have to, it has to be everyone, but he makes sure to mention that the everyone here included is comprised of the least able members of society in many ways. The oldest among us and the littlest among us, the ones who need the greatest of care. Now, what's kind of interesting about that, Pharaoh was surprised by it. Pharaoh thought you send out the people in charge, Moses and Aaron, they go out, they do the God thing, and then everything's fine. You don't need all of these people who are not the elites of your society to be going and doing this Yud-He-Vav-He God worship thing. You don't need the rest of them. He's like shocked by it. It's a surprise. He does this double take and asking him in the first place, but they're almost talking past each other. And it says a lot, actually, about the way that Pharaoh thinks about both the composition of his society as well as what it means to serve holiness within Pharaoh's own context. Notice I didn't use the word God there. It seems to be something that you can actually draw a tight little boundary around in Pharaoh's case. If you have the one in charge go and do the God thing, then that's cool for everybody. It reflects everybody. Everybody's good. They're all yotzei. It's all lovely. No worries. And Moses isn't in it for that. Moses is in it for a much broader sense of freedom. And we sometimes do wrestle with the word freedom within rabbinic tradition. They say sometimes, you went from Ol Malchut Paro to Ol Malchut Shamayim. It's about a transition from the service of the kingdom of Pharaoh to the service of the kingdom of God. And so in addition to this idea of freedom, I want to add this idea of redemption in there too, of redeeming the Israelites from their servitude. And it's cool because it is actually kind of absolutist. It's almost a little bit fundamentalist. The leaders, the heads, the elites of the society don't get theirs until everyone does. You can't be rich enough or powerful enough or prominent enough to walk away from it unless everybody gets to. I think there's a really powerful object lesson there. Moses had the chance to compartmentalize and to silo off his own society and to leave the people who were the least able and had the least amount of power behind. He didn't take it when he had the chance. That is a remarkable thing. What do we do if it is that we ourselves are not afflicted by ugliness in our lives or our society or our particular corner of Wilmington, and yet there are those who are afflicted? Redemption is not a solo process. Shabbat Shalom.